Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? Welcome to episode 16 of MLB Hot Takes. We're going to talk some Madison Bumgarner and the Diamondbacks. We're going to go back in time and talk about Ken Griffey Jr., maybe some Ryan Howard mixed in there. We're going to talk about my Red Sox. Let's get to it. And good evening, baseball fans. Hello. How are we doing? Whoa, Gregory Woolridge starting things off with a super chat. Gregory, $5 super chat to start things off. You're amazing, my friend. Hey, he's saying it before I can even say it. Everyone, hit that like button for me. Let's get the like button going. We're struggling for viewership lately. We're struggling. I think we got to around 50 people last night in the chat talking about the minor leaguers lately and how they're doing. So if you can, that like button really going to help this get out there for people looking to talk some baseball. So it's a bit of a downtime in baseball. I've mentioned this in a few streams. You know, it's just kind of an odd spot for baseball at the moment. You got basketball going on. The NHL playoffs just started, you know. So, hey, we're doing what we can, but we're going to chug on here talking some baseball. But I am seeing a lot of familiar faces, as always, in the chat. Andrew Lopez, Ryan Hanna, what is going on? Bobby Nardone, Nicholas, what's going on? One of our moderators, how we doing? Mark Satterfield, hello. GC, Wolfpack, Malone Labe, hello. How are we doing? Ashley, how are we doing? Welcome. Ben Myers, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? The Bro, what's going on? Tice Thompson, Ratchet, how you doing? But everyone, we got a fun one tonight. You know, we got some. What I'm excited about for tonight is I actually got a couple from the past, and I love going back in time and kind of looking at some hot takes from prior seasons. I always am interested in that, kind of like some what if sort of questions. But we get a couple on those. We're gonna talk about the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, the White Sox, the Red Sox tonight. Some good hot takes as always. You guys are always sending in the good hot takes, but before I do get started, as always, if you can, hit that subscribe button. If you are new, like Gregory said earlier, hit that like button. That's going to help us get out there. It's going to help it for the algorithm. Hit the bell notification. Share the stream as well. But also, everyone, just in case you have not seen me plug this yet, we are partners with SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase using my code HYDE. And if you use Prize Picks, if you're into sports betting like FanDuel and DraftKings, use my code GINGER. They'll give you a 100% deposit match. Also, everyone, in case you have not seen, we are, well, for me, I'm going to be participating in the Major League Baseball Game of the Week on YouTube. I'm a part of it now, so I'm pretty excited about that. The first game is tomorrow. As we can see, there's already 40 people waiting for it. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, not an amazing game tomorrow. We got the Nationals and the Rockies, but we got a lot of fun players all around. The Rockies are off to a pretty decent start this year. But hey, it's an honor for me to be able to join some of these other awesome baseball YouTubers that are going to be a part of it. So, hey, if you're bored tomorrow around 3 o'clock, come check out this game. I think it will be a good time. So, let's just dive into the hot takes, shall we? Let's get into it here. Not going to waste any time. I mean, probably the big story today coming out of the baseball world was Madison Bumgarner getting into it with the first base umpire. I mean, Madison Bumgarner, I believe after just one inning, tossed from the game. We'll go look at the clip here, but this is a hot take on the Diamondbacks coming in from Ben Weiner. Diamondbacks don't finish last in the National League West and almost make the playoffs. Listen, everyone. I have been on the record. I've been on the record saying that the Diamondbacks, I think, could make the playoffs. I've tweeted it out quite a few times. I've said, don't sleep on the Diamondbacks. I tweeted this out even last season at one point. I tweeted it out this past offseason. Diamondbacks, take a look. 13-13. They've made it back to 500. They just swept the Marlins. This Marlins team was red hot. And the Diamondbacks, they went to Miami, and they took that series. Diamondbacks are looking really good, man. This Diamondbacks starting pitching has actually been one of the best rotations in the game up to this point. If we go take a look, actually, at where the Diamondbacks are currently ranking when it comes to starting pitching. I don't think this is updated for today's game, but Arizona coming into today, we're 9th overall. They have a 2.49 ERA, a 3.49 FIP. Bumgarner's been doing really good. We'll talk about him in just a second, but Zach Gallen's been doing really good. Merrill Kelly has been doing really good. I mean, hey, Zach Davies, he's been throwing innings. They got guys here that are producing for this Arizona Diamondbacks starting pitching. Again, Gallen, Kelly, these guys have looked great. Bumgarner, yes, he got tossed, but he's been looking his best in a Diamondbacks uniform up to this point. Yeah, the ERA is low, the FIP is higher, but honestly, when you look at Bumgarner in the last couple of seasons, he has not been very effective for the Diamondbacks. If we go back, 2020, his first season, ERA in the 6s, his FIP was in the 7s. He did better last year. He was able to start 26 games. ERA got to around the mid-4s. FIP was also in the mid-4s. But this year, again, FIP around the same, but the defense behind him, they're really, really helping him out. They got a good game plan going. And again, he did get tossed today. So let's actually get into that. That's kind of the big thing right now in the baseball world. So taking a look here, so let me read this Will Middlebrook's tweet here. Bumgarner said, "Take your effing time to the umpire," and got tossed. We'll watch the video. But I was kind of wondering, I'm like, what led to this? There was obviously something that led to this. I mean, Bumgarner's not just gonna flip out, just like that. And the umpire, who has been known to be kind of difficult in Major League Baseball, Bellino, I don't know the first name, but he has been known to be difficult. And Bumgarner, supposedly, he was arguing balls and strikes in that first inning. Wasn't too pleased with some of the calls. And again, I guess the umpire was trying to, I don't know what he was trying to do. Was he trying to ask this guy on a date? Did he want to go out for coffee? I don't know what he was trying to do. But jokes aside, it seemed like this guy was just trying to get into Bumgarner's head. Here's the angle in slow-mo. I mean, just like John Boy says here, this made us weirdly uncomfortable. I mean, what is going on here? He's just staring at him. Bumgarner doesn't even realize he's staring at him. He's just holding his hand. I think he wants to ask him out for coffee. I'm not really sure what's going on. But, like, again, on a serious note, like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to be such a tough guy? I don't really understand it. It's just really weird. It's this very odd behavior. And someone like Bumgarner, man, who is basically a cowboy, he's not going to take that lightly. Just really weird, man. I don't know. I really don't get it. I don't know what this umpire is trying to do. I don't know. I don't think it's, the best behavior from the umpires. It's like, come on. Yeah, the players, they need to be respectful to the umpires, but the umpires got to show respect back, man. I don't know what this guy is trying to prove. I don't know what he was trying to do. To me, he came off really foolish here, especially with this camera angle. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Frodo. Okay, I see what you're saying here. Another $2 super chat. Thank you so much. It's oh yeah. All right. Now I know how to say it. Frodo, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Neo Valentine. So when we get robo umps, I wonder how fast Bumgarner is going to get mad at it for taking too long. There's been some videos out there, with these robo umps where horrible calls, but the umpire has to call it a strike. I watched a video earlier of a ball that was just so outside, but the robo ump said it was a strike, and he's like, okay, I got to call strike 3. And I remember there was the video, I forget where I saw it, but the guy just like bent over like at the plate and he was just hunched over, and he's just like, are you kidding me? Like, what is that? What call is that? JD Martinez striking out. Got the Red Sox game on here. Good game right now at Fenway. Trevor Story coming up big for the Red Sox earlier with a 2-run double. Red Sox, as of right now, a 3-2 lead. Hey, Garrett Whitlock pitched great, went into the 5th inning. He pitched 5 innings, so good for Garrett Whitlock, man. The Red Sox are looking pretty good here. The Angels have been playing really good baseball lately. So, but that's it for Madison Bumgarner. If you hadn't seen it, there's videos everywhere. I don't approve of what this ump is doing. I just think it's incredibly weird. I just think it's, I don't know, if you're trying to intimidate someone, I don't know what you're trying to, where are you getting at with this? How are you benefiting from this? I don't know. But the Diamondbacks, back to the hot take in itself. Diamondbacks winning today, and they're just on a roll right now. This Diamondbacks team, they have won 3 straight. They swept the Marlins, so they're 7-3 in their last 10. They're 4 back right now in this division. This division is really tight early on, and they're only 2 games back for a wild card spot. It's very early, but the fact that none of these teams are below 500, that is just remarkable. Considering, the Rockies, a lot of people thinking, they weren't going to be a really good team this year. And there's still obviously tons of time left. I mean, we're not even really through the beginning part of the season here. But I do think the Diamondbacks have a good team. I've always liked their starting pitching. And I think if they can just get the bullpen together, I think that's going to it's going to help solidify that team more. I like the bats that they have. I like that they got some guys that can hit for average, they can hit for power. They got athleticism in that lineup. That's what I like about that team. So look out for the Diamondbacks. I mean, and getting back here to the actual hot take, Diamondbacks don't finish last in the NL West and almost make the playoffs. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see how this pans out. I could see them almost making the playoffs. I really do. I've been high on this Diamondbacks team. I know they were really bad last year, but I've been high on this team, man. I really like a lot of the potential that they have. Verdugo, what the heck are you doing, dude? Verdugo, man. I don't know. But that's all I have for the Diamondbacks. Hopefully Madison Bumgarner. Well, at least Madison Bumgarner is going to be really fresh for his next start. So let's move on here. We were just talking about the Marlins. Now, this Marlins team, I was really high on them a few days ago, but now losing that series to the Diamondbacks, Mel Bangers, Marlins make big move at the deadline and take the National League East. Ooh. Now, a few days ago, if you had put this in, man, oh man, I would have been pretty excited about this hot take. But the Marlins, again, just playing the Diamondbacks the past few days, getting swept by the Diamondbacks, and now the Marlins have now lost 4 straight, so they have definitely tumbled here. It's amazing how quickly a season can just change, right? Like a few days ago, the Marlins were the talk of the town, and now you got a team that's lost 4 straight games. So if we take a look at where they're at in the division as of right now, again, a lot of time, it's funny, they've lost 4 straight games, but they're still sitting there in second place, 4.5 back. Right now, it's looking like this is going to be the Mets division, but we all saw what happened with the Mets in the second half, so you can never be quite sure. So who knows? But right now, the Mets are definitely looking good. Now, the Marlins winning this division, if they somehow won this division, that would be just absolutely insane. I am going to sell on that. I'm not going to be a believer in that. I don't think they win the East. I think if it's not the Mets, you got really good teams in the Phillies and the Braves. I don't think the Nationals are going to do anything this year. Sorry, Nats fans, but I think the Braves eventually are going to get hot. I think the Phillies, they're going to get hot at some point. The Mets, I mean, their job is to just try and keep these other teams at bay and just try and just hang on to this division. It's going to be tough. You're definitely going to see the Braves and the Phillies start to pick it up. For the Marlins, I could definitely see them going after a wild card. I don't see them going after a division. I think there's too much beef here. The Marlins, I do like this Marlins team. I was just so high on them just the other night when we did power rankings. It's crazy how just quickly things can change. But I love the lineup. I love Jazz Chisholm Jr., Jorge Soler. He was getting hot there. Joey Wendell's had a really good start to the season. Got some young players here in the lineup. The starting pitching is really solid. Alcantara, Lopez, Rogers, Hernandez, Luzardo has just been a renaissance. But taking a look here, The pitching wasn't necessarily bad in the first 2 games, but not great. But today they give up 8 runs overall. If we were to go take a look here at these 3 games, going back to game 1. Come on, computer. You are killing me right now. Oh, Fraudo, I see a super chat here. Hot take. Dodgers finish 3rd. My, oh my. What a hot take that is. Really quick, I'll talk about that in just a second. If anyone does drop a super chat, if you got a hot take that you want to submit, I've already picked my 10 hot takes from the community tab post that I put yesterday. But if you do have a hot take, you can do a super chat. That way it'll pop up on the screen. If you put one in the chat, I'll try and look for it. But back to this one here for the Marlins. Again, the hot take that we're on is that the Marlins will win the National League East. Taking a look here at the box scores. So for game 1, Pablo Lopez didn't necessarily look bad. He just wasn't as good as he has been. He got into the 5th inning, gave up a few runs, 6 hits. But Gallen looked really good going into the 7th inning for the Diamondbacks. Going off to game 2 here, the Marlins, putting up 4 runs, 6 hits. They had a big 7th inning in that game. But Trevor Rogers, oh, that's deep. Oh, that is gone. We got a tie game. Anthony Rendon has gone deep here at Fenway. Oh, Austin Davis, man. Are you kidding me? Come on. Hey, I said this the other night. I think Anthony Rendon, he's going to start putting together some good numbers. Said that during power rankings the other night. So, Anthony Rendon going deep. We got a tie game at the Fens. So, not surprised. Anthony Rendon's a really good player. But game 2, Trevor Rogers did not look very effective. And then today, if we go take a look, Eliezer Hernandez, same story. 5 runs allowed. The bullpen actually did really good for the Marlins besides Bender in the end. He had the blown save. But the Diamondbacks, in the end, they put together those couple of runs to help them win the game. So taking a look at how that unraveled for them in the top of the 9th, Pavin Smith with a 2-run home run. So Pavin Smith, this is a player that I really liked last year. I really thought he actually had a pretty solid rookie season. So, hey, Pavin Smith, let's go take a look at his numbers so far. He's hitting .268. He's got 3 home runs. The thing with Pavin Smith that I really like is he's a good on-base guy. He had really good on-base numbers in the minor leagues, and right now he's at a .354 on base. So, Pavin Smith, the hero for the Diamondbacks today. We'll have to keep an eye out for these Diamondbacks. But as for the Marlins, I will sell this hot take. I don't think they're going to win this division, but I could definitely see them going after a wild card. They have good starting pitching. I think that starting pitching could carry them to a wild card. Fraudo, let me go back to yours. The Dodgers finish in 3rd. Now, if we take a look at this West, right, listen, I like this Giants team. I like the Padres. I think the Padres, they got some pitching back this past offseason where, they signed Nick Martinez, Mike Clevinger coming back. Guys just getting healthier. And so with the Padres and the Giants, they're good teams. For the Dodgers, though, I got to sell. I do think the Dodgers, if they finish in 3rd, I would be absolutely shocked. I think at minimum they're 2nd place. But even then, I would be still shocked if they didn't win this division this year. I do think San Diego and San Francisco are definite wild card teams. I definitely like these 2 teams for the wild card. But, Rowdy Tellez just hit a grand slam. Rowdy Tellez, look at that. Look at that. We're up to 40 people in the chat. That's a high for tonight. Let's see if we can get up to maybe around 100 people tonight. It's been tough for viewers lately. It's been a down time, but let's see if we can do it. But, yeah, Fraudo, I think the Dodgers, I got to sell, man. I got to sell. Maybe a team like the Padres or the Giants could make a run and, finish first. The Giants did it last year, so I'm not saying it's impossible. Everyone had the Dodgers winning that division last year, and the Giants ended up winning a franchise high in games. So, but for now, I will sell, my friend. I'm sorry. But let's get to the next hot take, shall we? Let's get to the next hot take. Let's get to another team that has been slumping so far this season. the Chicago White Sox. Coming in from Carson Banbrook. Hi, Robbie. The White Sox pull a Twins from last year. They will have too many injuries and bad seasons from star players. Well, let's go take a look at this here. So, pulling up the standings for the AL Central as of right now, the White Sox, they're starting to get some wins here. They're starting to put some wins together. They've won a couple in a row. They're playing right now against the Cubs. Let's actually pull that up. But the White Sox, they're starting to come alive a little bit. I know it looked a little bleak there in the beginning, but they're starting to kind of get their act together. They had some guys that were getting hurt. Giolito was hurt. Lance Lynn, he's been on the IL. You know, and some of these guys, you know, Luis Robert too, he was out, but he came back. Tim Anderson, though, he's been off to a good start this year. Bobby Abreu's not clicking as of right now. He's still only hitting 222. Grandal hitting under 200. Pollock hitting under 200. You know, I just don't think this team has really hit their stride as of right now. If we go take a look here, with the starting pitching, the White Sox actually do rank 11th overall. Giolito is starting tonight, so he's looking okay. They've only given up a few runs, but Dylan Cease is off to a really nice start. Kopech's off to a good start. Even Velasquez has a 4.32 FIP, so I'm not worried about this starting pitching, really. I think the White Sox will have another move in them by the deadline. I think they'll come up with some kind of a trade. They put that trade together last year for Kimbrel. I think they'll end up making some kind of another move. But with the White Sox, I just don't think they've really fully hit their stride yet. If we go take a look at where they rank in WRC+, 24th overall, you know, that's not really what this White Sox team is. They are better than that, and they will come alive at some point. So I'm not too worried about this White Sox team. Now, could they end up losing the division? I mean, this Twins team is red hot. They've won 4 straight. They're playing Baltimore right now. Let's see how they're doing against Baltimore. Let's see. Okay, well, they're getting killed by Baltimore right now. I mean, look at Baltimore, man. They put up 9 runs on my Red Sox the other day, putting up 9 runs again. They're a pesky team, Baltimore. I'm telling you, I know they're not looking great overall with their record, but they're always a pesky team, man. They just, they'll just put up runs here and there. They'll have good pitching here and there. But for the Central, I mean, sure, the Twins could end up winning this division. I don't see why they couldn't. The Twins have a good team. Their starting pitching has looked really good. Bullpen could use some work, but the offense is starting to come alive. Correa's been coming alive recently. But for the White Sox, I'm still going to have this team win the Central. I still think they are going to come alive. But this Twins team is looking really good. The Guardians were looking really good there in the first few games, but they've been scuffling lately. They're 3-7 in their last 10. So they're playing the Padres. And actually, I think, was it Clevenger that got the start yesterday? Oh, that was today. Oh, okay. So this game's over. But let me actually go to the box score here. No, Gore got the start. So actually, how did that game go yesterday? That's oh, it's postponed. So when is Clevenger starting? Let me go here, May 5th. Oh, so is Clevenger not gonna get the start? I guess. I don't know. Am I missing something here? But whatever. But the Guardians, I think the Guardians have a good team. One of these teams, I think it's going to come down to either the Twins or the White Sox for that Central. But I do think the White Sox eventually will come alive. I think that team is just too talented. They're going to get some guys healthy. They're going to bounce back eventually. So now, who wins the division? I don't know. I think the White Sox will end up making the playoffs in some capacity. I just think they're too good. These guys have track records where I don't think they're going to keep hitting the way they're hitting. So, but let's move on here to another team that is struggling. I am watching them right now. My Red Sox. Tom Amiano, what's going on, my friend? Oh, that's down the line. Oh, foul ball for Christian Arroyo. Oh, man. Oh, so close. So close. But Tom Amiano, what's going on, my friend? By the All-Star break, the Red Sox are below or at 500. They end up trading Nathan Eovaldi and Bogey to a contender for an insane haul of prospects. Let's go take a look at this. Here we go. Where's the Red Sox? Here we go. Okay, I'm also going to be pulling up baseball trade values here, and we'll take a look at some of the values of these guys, but sharing the screen. But as we all know, the Red Sox, they have not been playing their best baseball lately. 3-7 in their last 10. They did beat the Angels last night, so that was nice to see. They were up here earlier. It's a tie game now after the Anthony Rendon home run. But Red Sox, 10-14 overall. They find themselves 8 games back in the division. I didn't even have the Red Sox making the playoffs this year. I think they could contend for a wild card. I don't see why they couldn't, but I mean, right now, they're not showing a lot of life, man. And I'm kind of wondering if they keep up these ways, they're going to have to get hot at some point. They're going to have to put together a pretty nice win streak to get back into it. I just don't know if they have enough starting pitching. The bullpen, it's performed well at times. It was actually looking really good, but they had a bad week last week. So I don't know about this Red Sox team. I'm not quite sure. But if they were to be at 500 at the All-Star break or below, I definitely think you could see this team and Chaim Bloom start to trade off some guys. The base hit here. Alrighty. Who just got that? Was that Arroyo? Okay, it was Arroyo. So Arroyo did not get the home run, but he got the base hit. Here we go. So for the Red Sox, I definitely think you will see if they are at 500, if they're out of it and they want to start selling, I think Eovaldi is the main guy that they would, as long as he's healthy, I think that's the guy that you would put in a trade. He's a free agent after this year. Honestly, he's not, compared to some of these other guys, he's a bargain. $17 million. That is way cheaper than a lot of these other guys and what they're getting paid. So, but Eovaldi definitely could get back a couple of prospects. I definitely think so. Now, Bogaerts, on the other hand, really interesting. I think with Bogaerts, because of the opt-out, I don't know if he would basically, you would have to be trading for Bogaerts knowing that he could possibly just be a rental, because he, at this point, he can opt out after this season, and then word on the street is he is going to opt out. So at this point, you have to treat Bogaerts as a rental. He could end up, sticking out the rest of his contract if he goes to another team, but it sounds like, according to reports, that he does want to become a free agent. So let's kind of go take a look here. What would a trade look like for a couple of these guys? So if we pull up the Red Sox, Nathan Eovaldi, he's got some value. As long as he stays healthy, that's a guy where he'll bring back a couple of guys. So as of right now, Nathan Eovaldi, he is worth $11.7 million. So I definitely think a team really would be interested in trading for him if the Red Sox are out of it. As for Bogaerts, he definitely has value. Fraudo, what's going on? I DM'd you on Discord. Oh, I'll have to go check that. Thanks for the great content. Fraudo, thank you so much for always coming out. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate that, my friend, really. Bogaerts, $23.4 million value. I wonder if that ends up getting lowered because of the opt-out. I mean, I think right now that this value includes that opt-out. So if you did not have that opt-out, I definitely think he would be, easily worth like 40, 50 million. I really do think that. But that opt-out definitely lowers his value because teams aren't going to want to give up that much for him if he has the opt-out. So Bogaerts would be really interesting for some teams out there. If we go take a look right now at the rankings for these positions. So when it comes to shortstop, who are some teams that could use a shortstop? Nationals, no. Orioles, no. Reds, no. I don't know. The Rockies would have to be in serious contention, I think, to maybe consider trading for Bogarts, but I don't think they will. Iglesias is having a good start. A's, no. Phillies, it seems like Gregorius is, I don't know. These are projections, by the way. So, how is Gregorius doing as of right now? You got Stott there, too. I mean, Gregorius is off to a pretty nice start. He's hitting 291, so probably not the Phillies. They don't really have the prospects anyway. I mean, the Diamondbacks have the prospects. Now, if they're in it and they need another bat, could they go with Bogarts here? Maybe. I don't know. The Angels could be interesting. So, I mean, as of right now, with the Angels, I mean, the Angels could be a really interesting team for Bogarts. So right now, you got Fletcher at short. So, and then you got Wade at second. So Wade is off to actually a pretty decent start. How is Fletcher doing? Fletcher's actually off to a really bad start. So I could see the Angels maybe looking into it. They got a couple of guys that you could pull off a trade for Bogarts possibly. So, but the Angels, they do have a lot of guys here. I don't know if they would do it. Probably not the Cubs, the Yankees. I'm going to just say no to in-division guy or to teams in the division. Yeah, Yankees, no. So I'll probably say no for the Blue Jays too. Guardians, I think probably the Guardians, no. Marlins could be interesting. You got Miguel Rojas. If Miguel Rojas at some point were to have an injury, maybe. Marlins could be a fun team. If you got Bogarts there, that could be pretty fun. So, Cardinals? Maybe the Cardinals? Possibly Paul DeJong, but I don't know. Oh my God. I thought the Angels just hit another home run, but they're just showing a replay. I almost just died on the inside. Stassi hit a bomb earlier, man. Bomb. But yeah, the Cardinals could be an interesting team for Bogarts. So, that'd be a pretty fun little story, too, going to the team where, remember with Bogarts, he came up in 2013. He ended up being on that Red Sox team in the World Series. They played the Cardinals that year. So that could be a pretty fun little story in itself. So Bogarts could be interesting for the St. Louis Cardinals. I could see that. Tigers, no. I mean, now you're probably starting to, these teams, probably not. I don't see any of these teams doing it. Well, nah. I'll say no on the Padres. If you were to end up having Fernando Tatis Jr. out for the year, if that's what it ended up coming down to, they probably still wouldn't do it just because you have Ha-Seong Kim there. So, yeah, I would say really the best bets for Bogarts, as of right now, if things could change, if, a guy ends up getting hurt or something and, ends up missing the rest of the season, who knows? But I would say right now, the best fits for Bogarts right now would be the Angels and the Cardinals. They seem to make the most sense. But maybe the Marlins. I think the Marlins actually would just be really fun. So those are the three teams I would say for Bogarts right now. Cardinals, Angels, the Marlins. The Marlins have prospects. So if they really wanted to do it, they could do it. I don't know if they would. Probably not. But I think the Angels could make some sense for Bogarts. I mean, what a bat that would be, So, but for Nathan Eovaldi, if we take a look at some starting pitching right now for some of these other teams, again, the hot take here, in case you are just coming in, I see the viewer count is starting to go up a little bit. But the hot take was the Red Sox, if they're at 500 or under at the All-Star break, then they're going to sell. So, to me, I think Nathan Eovaldi would be the most logical guy. And then maybe Bogarts, possibly. But he has the opt-out, so that could make it tough. So if we take a look here, honestly, we're just talking about the Diamondbacks and that really good starting pitching. Nathan Eovaldi for the Diamondbacks could be really cool. Could you imagine if the Diamondbacks are in it? If they're contending for a wild card spot, you got Eovaldi, Bumgarner, Gallen, and Merrill Kelly going down the stretch. I think that could actually be really good for the Diamondbacks. And they have the prospects, too. Not the Nationals, not the Orioles. Again, every team could use starting pitching. I'm just looking at the teams that maybe have the biggest need. I mean, honestly, the Rangers, you know, he's from Texas, so, but the Rangers won't do it this year probably. Not the A's, not the Pirates, not the Cubs, not the Royals, not the Rockies. You know, Cardinals could be interesting. Maybe. I don't know. No on the Guardians. Could the Mariners maybe? You know, the Mariners playoff team, if they feel like they need to upgrade that rotation for the stretch run, I could see the Mariners maybe looking into Eovaldi. I could see that. No on the Reds. No on the Tigers. Twins? Maybe. Maybe the Twins. You know, they got some really good starting pitching going this year. And if they're in the thick of things down the stretch, maybe a Nathan Eovaldi trade could be really good for them. The White Sox, too. You know, same thing with the White Sox. If they're able to get their act together, I could see it. Could you maybe see the Rays, you know, in division? Chaim Bloom, he's traded in division before. Or the Yankees, too. You know, if the need is that high and if the Red Sox are out of it, I could see it. I mean, why not? If the Yankees really want to pull off a trade for Eovaldi, they got the prospects if they want to do it. Would they want to send prospects to the Red Sox? I'm not quite sure. You know, Bloom does have that connection with the Rays. You know, but the Rays starting pitching has looked pretty good. So, I don't know. I wouldn't count out the Rays and the Yankees for Eovaldi. The Marlins could be fun. I mean, you'd just be beefing up that starting pitching even more. The Braves, let's see how that starting pitching is looking. The Angels again. I mean, sure. Why not the Angels? Any of these teams in contention could make a trade. The Dodgers especially, they could make a trade for Eovaldi. If Trevor Bauer's not coming back this year, now, I mean, that could make a lot of sense for the Dodgers for the second half. You know, with a lot of competition there in the West, the Dodgers could pull off a trade for Eovaldi easily. They have great prospects. I could see that. Honestly, if I were to... Let's actually do that really quick. Let's do the Dodgers. Let's do the Red Sox and the Dodgers. Let's see. Eovaldi. Let's see. All right, Red Sox out of the 8th. Strom looking good. All right, so let's see. Dodgers. Again, you're looking at around $12 million in value for Eovaldi. So you're probably not. That's the thing. The Dodgers probably would love to, you know, because they could send back a couple of good prospects and they wouldn't have to give up any of their top guys. Let me actually pull up here. Dodgers top prospects. All right, so yeah, you probably wouldn't have to give up anyone in the top 5. You know, Pepio could be interesting. Or is it Pepiot? I can't remember. But, I mean, nah, probably not. His value is pretty high. But I could see Bloom, you know, taking a flyer on a couple of these guys. Maybe someone like Clayton Beeter. Beeter was a 6. And then... maybe you could do someone like, I don't know. Someone like James Outman. He's hitting pretty good so far. He's got 5 home runs this year. Last year he had 18. I could see someone like him. James Outman. You could probably do him and maybe one more guy. And then you're probably on the right track. If the Dodgers wanted to pull off a trade for Eovaldi, they could definitely do it. So, but again, when it comes to the Red Sox, if they are not in it, I definitely could see Bloom trading Eovaldi. Maybe Bogarts. He just has the opt-out, so I'm not sure. I don't know. To me, I think Bloom would look into it. I don't see why he wouldn't. I definitely think another guy that the Red Sox could trade, if they were going to go into sell mode, would be Christian Vasquez. If we take a look here, Vasquez, not a lot of value with him. He's got a 1.6. So I could see Vasquez being on the move. He's been in trade rumors now for, it feels like, a couple of seasons. So would the Red Sox trade Rafael Devers? I'll tell you right now. I mean, I find it very interesting that the Red Sox are very far apart with Devers. I mean, the Red Sox have always been known to not want to break the bank for the hometown guys. But I think, honestly, a big part of, Pedroia with that long-term deal, and look how bad that contract ended up being. And that's nothing on him. He ended up getting hurt. It was tough. But I don't know. I don't know if the Red Sox want to give the big money to Rafael Devers, because the thing with Devers is his defense at third in his career has not been good. If we take a look this year defensively, he is doing better than he has in the last couple of seasons. He has a 1.4 defense, but what do the Red Sox view him as in the future? That's what I'm wondering. If you take a look at the defensive runs saved, he's at 0, but he's never going to be in the positives. I'll tell you that right now. He's never going to be an amazing defender out there. Now, so my question is what do the Red Sox view him as? Do they view him as a third baseman? Do they view him as more of a designated hitter? I don't know. That's where, I don't know, man. And I'll tell you this right now. Alex Benelis, he has been phenomenal. Take a look at him down in the minor leagues right now. Where is he? Alex Benelis. He's off to a really good start. This is a third baseman, lefty. He's in high A. It's still far away, but he's hitting .297. He's got a .424 on base, a .622 slugging. He's got 7 home runs already. I'll tell you right now, if the Red Sox see, if they are offered a trade for Devers and they are offered a good package, I'll tell you right now, I think they would. Oh, that's deep. Wait. Oh, did it go? It's gone. Xander Bogaerts. Gone. 4-3 Red Sox. All right. So I just sighed a second ago because I looked and the ball was in the air and I thought it was going to end up being a fly ball, but then I was like, oh wait, it actually might be a home run. And I saw it had Cutter Crawford for the guy that was pitching. I'm like, oh my God, did Cutter Crawford just give up a home run? But Xander Bogaerts has given the Red Sox the lead. Man, oh man, keep this guy in Boston. Do what it takes to keep this guy in Boston. But anyway, back to this. I could see the Red Sox. I'm not saying to the Dodgers, but I'm just putting Devers up here so you can see his value. $61.4 million. If the Red Sox are blown away and a team is looking for a bat, I don't see why Bloom would say no. I'm just saying. So I think this trade deadline could be really interesting for the Red Sox. I mean, I'm going to be paying attention very heavily if the Red Sox are out of it. So anyway, I spent a long time on that one. Let's get to the next couple of ones. I'm just going to go through this next one really quick because it is Red Sox related. But I think people should be paying attention to this guy. Michael Wacha from Mark A. Michael Wacha continues his success throughout the season and winds up with some Cy Young votes. I'm telling you, everyone, he has been looking really good. Michael Wacha. Let's go pull up his numbers really quick. Wacha's been awesome. He looked really good yesterday. He got the win. He went into the 6th inning. He's doing great right now for the Red Sox. He's got a 1.38 ERA, but the thing that I want people to pay attention to is the 3.88 FIP. So I definitely think Wacha is going to start coming back to earth a bit. If you also look at the xFIP, it's at 4.13. He's not striking out a lot of guys. He's walking guys more than he has in the last couple of years. But he's got something he's got something working right now. And that's what I am liking about Michael Wacha. And let me actually pull him up on Baseball Savant. He's been a guy the last couple of years where he has been kind of just trying to rework himself. He's been throwing other pitches more. He's added more movement to some of his other pitches. But Wacha, he's got some reds here. However, he's got some blues. So that's why I do think he is going to end up not getting any Cy Young votes. So I'm actually going to sell on that. But if we take a look here, his changeup is actually has... this is the most he has thrown his changeup in his career up to this point, even more than he did in 2013. So he has a career high in changeups this year. So he's definitely using that more. He's throwing the cutter a lot less. If you look in the last couple of years, Wacha, he tried throwing that cutter a lot more, but it looks like this season they just said, nah, no, let's do away with the cutter. Let's focus more on that changeup. Let's focus more on the fastball. Tom Amiano, one of our hot takes for tonight. Hey, I made the video. I hope that hot take doesn't come true, but if it does, I did a trade on trade values for Bogey and Nate to the Cardinals. That's actually, yeah, that's actually one of the teams I said for both of those guys, the Cardinals and Nathan Eovaldi. Will the Cardinals want to shell out some prospects? We'll have to see. I could see the Cardinals. I could see the Angels for Bogarts. Obviously, a lot more teams for Nathan Eovaldi. I could see the Dodgers for Nathan Eovaldi, to be completely honest. That seems like a kind of a guy that they would trade for down the stretch if they're not going to get Bauer back this season. I could see something like that. But yeah, Tom Amiano, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the hot take. Thank you so much. So, but Michael Wacha, he's gotten rid of the cutter. He's throwing the changeup more. He's just focusing on fastball changeup. Now, however, the cutter this year, I will say, even though he is throwing it less, he's getting more movement on the cutter than he has in the last couple of years. So that cutter is really working for him. Fastball is pretty much the same. So pretty much what's going on with Wacha here is he is using the cutter, but he's using a lot less, but he's using it. It's more of a quality over quantity kind of a pitch at this point for him. And he's just sticking with fastball changeups. So, and if we take a look here, again, like I said, the cutter is getting more movement than it has in the last couple of years. But one other thing to take note of, the curveball actually ranks really well in terms of movement for him. Funny thing is his curveball is actually at a career low when it comes to, wait, this is vertical movement. Oh, actually, this is showing vertical movement. I'm sorry. So I want to see horizontal movement. So let me pull up the horizontal. So the curveball, he's always had good horizontal movement. So that's still ranking well. But that's good to see. But again, that cutter is doing the best that it's ever done. So you got to love that. Strom is coming out. Who's coming in? Cue the Undertaker theme song. Hansel Robles is coming in. Last time I saw Hansel Robles, well, I saw him in person at Tropicana Field, blow that game, and Kiermaier got the walk-off. So you got to love that. But anyway, but Wacha, I'm going to sell. He is doing really well. There's reasons to why he is doing better this year, but I do think eventually he will come back down to earth. But he definitely could end up having a really good season. So, speaking of guys that could get Cy Young votes, let's talk about one guy that I think is having himself a breakout season. Just won AL Pitcher of the Month, Logan Gilbert from League G. Logan Gilbert is the best starting pitcher in the American League. Well, I will say this right off the bat. I'm going to sell because right now I'm a Fangraph nerd. What can I say? But when you take a look at Logan Gilbert, he does rank 25th in Fangraph WAR. at the moment, yeah, the ERA is really good, a 0.64. However, the FIP is a 3.36. He's not striking out a ton of guys. He's off to a phenomenal start. He's doing great. He is right now, in terms of ERA, he is the leader in Major League Baseball. But again, I like to look at the FIP. The FIP to me is it tells a better story of a picture, and that FIP right now ranks 26. So, also, if you take a look at the BABIP, right now, his BABIP is, where is it? Let me actually just pull back up FIP. His BABIP is 225. So I do think that is going to start coming up a little bit. So I would, usually league average BABIP is anywhere from like 280 to, 290, 300. So 225, a little low. I do think you are going to see that come up a bit. But he is off to a great start. I'm not taking anything away from Logan Gilbert. But I don't think he is the best pitcher right now. Actually, what did that hot take say? Did it say just the American League? Okay, in the American League. So if we take a look at just the American League, I mean, I think right now you got to go Kevin Gausman. I mean, this guy hasn't walked anyone. He hasn't given up any home runs. His FIP is stupid at 0.49, and that is all with a 383 BABIP. That's a really high BABIP. That's stupid. Here's Hansel Robles, 0.93 ERA. Come on, Robles, get us the save. We got to win this series. Let's go. But you can make an argument for Dylan Cease. He's striking out a ton of guys. He's walking some guys, though. But right now, my vote is Kevin Gausman for the best pitcher in the American League. So I'm going to sell on that one. I don't think Logan Gilbert is the best, but I do think he will end up being one of the best pitchers in the American League by the end of this season. Now, let's go do a throwback one, shall we? I'm actually pretty interested in this one. Speaking of the Mariners, since we're on that topic, let's talk about Ken Griffey Jr. I really like this one. From Leo Wells, the Mariners would be a World Series contender if Griffey never retired. Let's go take a look at this. This one's exciting. I like this one. Like I've told you all before, I like unique hot takes. If you can ever take me back in time, I will always consider that hot take. If you can have me go back in time and do like a what if hot take, I think that's a fun one. I like doing the what ifs. So, oh, Robles, did he get him? He got him. Strike three. 1 out. 2 outs to go. Red Sox are 2 outs away from a series win. Here we go. But Ken Griffey Jr. Now, again, the hot take. They would have, let me pull it back up here. They would have been a World Series contender if he had never left. So let's go back here. I think the best chance that they had was obviously 2001. So if we go back to 2001, right? In 2000, let's actually pull up the 2000 Mariners. He had a good season for the Reds that year. Let me click out of some of these tabs. Griffey, where are you at? Here we go. So Griffey, in the year 2000, he had a 5.4 wins above replacement. That was his first season with the Cincinnati Reds. So with the 2000 Mariners, they were 91 and 71. So the center fielder for the Mariners that year was Mike Cameron. However, Mike Cameron had a pretty good year too. He would have, Mike Cameron, he had a 4.0 baseball reference WAR. So let's take a look. So Fangraphs, what did they give him for the year 2000? They gave him a 3.6. So with Griffey, you're probably looking at a couple more wins. I think, actually, now that I think about it, I feel like 2000 might have actually been the Mariners' best chance at a World Series. They were in the ALCS that year against the Yankees. The Yankees ended up going on to the World Series and beating the Mets. So I think, to be honest with you, The reason I say 2000 would have been their best chance is because if you take a look at 2001, now, who knows what would have ended up happening? Who knows, if Griffey would have gotten hurt, with the Reds. Actually, when did Griffey get hurt? Griffey, knee. I cannot type. Here we go. When did that happen? That was 2001. So yeah, that was kind of like when things started to go downhill for Griffey. So 2001, he did not have a good season that year. He had a 1.8 Fangraph WAR. And Mike Cameron in 2001, he was really good. Mike Cameron was an all-star that year. He had a 5.5 WAR. So I don't think Griffey would have... I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Griffey, in that year, 2001, again, a 1.8, but he played 111 games. So it seems like Cameron would have ended up having the better season anyway. So, oh, Robles. Come on, my friend. What are we doing? Come on. What just happened here? I wasn't looking. Oh, Robles always gets rattled, man. He's always getting... This was the same thing in Tropicana. Man. This happened in Tropicana Field. Robles, he balked. And then the whole game just unraveled at that point. So now he just walked Trout. He wanted that call. And now... Oh, boy. Who's up? Is it Ohtani? Oh, my God. Please kill me. Kill me. We're up 4-3. Robles on the mound. Ohtani is up. 1 out. Oh, I'm not liking this. I am not liking this. But let's get back to the hot take. So I think the best chance for the Mariners would have been the year 2000. So with Griffey, well, actually, that's not Griffey. Here we go. With Griffey in 2000, he was awesome that year. He had 40 home runs, 118 RBIs. I think that would have been the Mariners' best chance to get by the Yankees. I think so. Let me actually go see, how did Cameron do in this series? Oh, yeah, Mike Cameron was really bad. In that series, he had 18 at-bats. He hit 111. I'll tell you, man, do I got to do a video on this? Could this be a video? Would the Mariners have won the World Series if they had Griffey in 2000? I think that could have, maybe. Maybe. What were Griffey's stats in the postseason? It's funny that Griffey only played 3 times in the postseason. He did well in 95. 97, not so hot. But, I don't know. If you were to break even, if he hits, like, I don't know, any better than Cameron did, I think, absolutely. I think the Mariners could have won this series. Could you imagine a Mariners-Mets World Series in the year 2000? That could have ended up being really fun. So, here we go. Robles. Honestly, can we just walk Ohtani? No, I don't want to walk Ohtani because I don't want I don't want Trout on second, man. Just kill me. But, so, if I were to do this hot take, if I were to buy or sell this one, would the Mariners, they would have been they absolutely would have been a World Series contender in 2000 with Griffey. 2001, I still think they would have been really good with, obviously. I mean, who knows what would have ended up happening with Griffey health-wise in 2001 with the Mariners. But I think 2000, the Mariners, they could have won a World Series that year with them. So, Ben Myers, do you think A-Rod staying in Seattle would be better? That could maybe be a good what-if video. What would happen if A-Rod stayed with the Mariners? And there goes Ohtani. So the Angels got 2 on. 1 out. We're up 4-3. Oh, a double play would be nice. Here comes Dave Bush. Oh, my God. I'm seeing the exact same thing that I saw at Tropicana Field. Oh, my God. It's like literally the same thing. Oh. This is deja vu. This is literally deja vu. Hanzo Robles, he's melting down. Everyone comes to the mound to talk to him. Oh my God. Deja vu, everyone. I might die. I might die. Anyway, let's get to the next hot take. Here we go. Let's talk about another guy. This one is interesting. We're gonna stay in the past. We're gonna go to Ryan Howard from Brad. I'm gonna try and say this right. Brad Castellanovo. I think I said that right. Brad Castellanovo. Ryan Howard was the most overrated player of the 2000s. He was a human strikeout machine and stole the 2005 NL MVP from Albert Pujols. Let's go look at Ryan Howard. Here we go. Now, let's look at his stats first. So, Ryan Howard was one of the best power hitters in the game. The guy was out of his mind. 2006, he had 58 home runs. He hit .313 that year, 425 on base, 659 slugging. This guy had 3 straight seasons after that with at least 45 home runs. Then he had back-to-back 30 home run seasons, and then the power just started to diminish. His batting average was just getting lower and lower and lower. But yeah, he was a very high strikeout guy. Overall in his career, he struck out 28% of the time. If we take a look at just the standard numbers, he actually never broke 200 strikeouts. He had 199 in 2007, 199 in 2008. But, with Ryan Howard, I definitely think he got a lot of attention. But I think people talked about the strikeouts with him at that time. If I were to go back to that time, I think people knew that with him. Especially more so then, because I feel like now if you strike out a whole ton, people are just like, whatever. I mean, I know people give Joey Gallo a lot. Oh, Anthony Rendon. Oh, he's under it. Oh my God, I just had a heart attack. Oh my God. Whew. I didn't realize Anthony Rendon was up. Oh my God, could you imagine? Oh, super chat coming in. Chris Raskin, hot take. Matt Kemp is the real 2011 NL MVP. I'll go take a look at that, Chris, right after I'm done talking about Ryan Howard. Thank you so much. But yeah, Ryan Howard, when you take a look during his career from 2004 to 2016, Ryan Howard ranked 6th overall in home runs. He was up there in RBIs as well. If you take a look at the RBIs, he was 5th overall in RBIs. So I wouldn't say he was overrated. Honestly, I really wouldn't. I think he was an elite power hitter. And when he was in his prime, he was insane. But let's take a look at the 2005 season. In the National League, it was pretty much down to is that 2000? Oh, I picked 2005. Sorry, 2006. He did say the 2005 stole the 2005 NL MVP. Wasn't it 2006? I thought it was 2006 that he was really looking locked in. I think he meant to put 2006. So, yeah, he put 2005 right there, but I think that's supposed to say 2006. So, that year, if we look at 2006, Ryan Howard, believe it or not, he actually ranked 10th overall in wins above replacement. So if we actually go here, 2006 NL MVP voting. So I actually feel like I've done a video on this. I did a video a long time ago. I'm going to have to recreate that video because that's like one of like the very first videos that I ever made on this channel. But if you go to the National League MVP, Ryan Howard, he barely edged out Pujols. He had 388 points, and Pujols had 347. He had 20 first-place votes. Pujols had 12. Honestly, now that I think back to that video, I do think, I said Pujols should have won the MVP because Howard, even Pujols' offense was just off the charts that year. Like, Howard had way more home runs and RBIs, but Pujols was the better offensive player. His slash line was better. Pujols had the better batting average. He had better on base numbers, a higher slugging. He had a higher WRC plus. They both played first. Pujols was the better defender out there. Pujols actually did better with base running that year. So yeah, I'll buy that. I think Pujols should have been the MVP that year, to be completely honest. Especially with the second half that the Cardinals had that year. If we actually go to Pujols for that year, let me go to his splits for the year 2006. I think Pujols was just an absolute monster in the second half. Pujols in the second half that year, over 73 games, he hit 344. He had 20 homers. I mean, good grief. He was really good. He was good all season. That first half was really good. He had 29 homers over 70 games. So I believe Pujols got hurt, though. That was another thing with Pujols. So if I were to think back to that time correctly. But yeah, I'll buy that. I think Pujols should have won the MVP. He was the best offensive player. He had the highest wins above replacement on Fangraphs that year. That's just what I think. I think Pujols was the more... Sure, Howard had more home runs and RBIs, but that's what the voters look at. They still look at that to this day. They're not looking at more of like the slash line. They want those sexy numbers. They want the home runs, the RBIs, the batting average, But yeah, especially during this time, Ryan Howard, man, the 58 home runs, that basically won him the MVP. So here we go. Really quick, Chris Raskin, Matt Kemp, the 2011 MVP. So let me pull up the 2011 numbers really quick. Here we go. Man, oh man, 2011, Jacoby Ellsbury was so good that year. Oh, so good, man. Look at Ellsbury's numbers. I know we're talking about Matt Kemp, but Ellsbury, Matt Kemp was... actually, Matt Kemp was the better offensive player in 2011 than Jacoby Ellsbury, but Ellsbury's defense out there was insane. My goodness, man. Insane. Let me pull up the 2011. Let's pull up these. So, yeah, that was one where I'm like, dude... Verlander won that year. It should have been Ellsbury, man. And you know why I think Ellsbury didn't get it? Because the Red Sox had that collapse. I guarantee you, I think a lot of voters, if the Red Sox had made the playoffs, I think Ellsbury would have won that award. I know Verlander had a really good year that year, but, dude, Ellsbury was out of his mind that year. Here we go. 2 strikes. Come on, Diekman. Come on. 2 strikes. Oh, Diekman, that slider almost got away from him. But yeah, as for Matt Kemp, I know that's Chris, that's what you're talking about. Matt Kemp here. Ryan Braun ended up getting the MVP that year. So let's go here to the leaderboards for that season. Let's just go to the National League. Keep it a little more simple. But yeah, Matt Kemp, he was just better overall. Ryan Braun was, they had around the same offense. I mean, honestly, when you really look at it, yeah, Matt Kemp was slightly better. Diekman, foul ball. Okay. But yeah, so Kemp, he had more home runs. He had more RBIs. He had more stolen bases. Braun had the better batting average. They basically had the same on base. Right around the same slugging, right around the same WRC plus. But Ryan Braun was a much lesser defender out there. So what I actually want to do is I want to look at the second half. So I believe Ryan Braun ended up having just like a monster second half that year. Yeah. So that's what it was. Remember Braun was hitting like walk-off home runs and he was just going crazy. But yeah, they ended up having the same Fangraph WAR in the second half that year. Oh my God, I thought they just got a hit. Oh, kill me. Come on, Diekman. Just one more strike, my friend. Come on. But I think Kemp should have won the MVP that year. Personally, I absolutely think so. I'm going to have to do a video on this because it's a good topic. You know, guys that should have won the MVP. So I do think Kemp should have won the MVP. I know Braun had some clutch moments. Actually, if we were to go to the win probability, Braun was the best clutch player in the second half that year. He had a 3-point. Well, but Matt Kemp was right behind him. He was right behind him. I think Kemp should have gotten it. But I do think that's why, because Braun had like walk-off home runs and stuff. Here we go. Oh, man, I thought he just struck him out. But Chris Raskin, thank you for the $1.99, my friend. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Now, we got a couple more hot takes here. Speaking of home runs, we're talking a lot about home runs in the last couple of hot takes. Let's talk about Anthony Rizzo and CJ Cron, shall we? From Shockwave 0233. Anthony Rizzo and CJ Cron will take the AL and NL home run crowns each in the 40s. Man, oh man. Let's go look at this. Here we go. Full count here. Diekman trying to close this down. For the love of God, please just close it down. So let's take a look at the home run leaders. It is right now Aaron Judge. Oh, base hit! No! No! This is why you need a closer! Stop it with this bullpen by committee crap! God, this is why you need a closer! Oh. Bullpen by committee doesn't work. I'm sorry. I hate it. I can't stand it. Can we just make Whitlock the closer, please? I love him as a starter, but... You know what Whitlock reminds me of? He reminds me of Papelbon. You know, like Papelbon, he wanted to be a starter. And I'm not saying Whitlock, wants to be a starter or a reliever necessarily, but Papelbon, it was the same thing because people were thinking, oh my God, Papelbon, he's got great stuff. Him as a starter, that's going to be amazing. But he was so good in the closer role. To me, Whitlock is just shut down. Ben Myers, you're right. We have Hanzo Robles. I can't do it. Diekman is not the guy. I remember people were like, there's your closer. And I'm like, have you seen Diekman's numbers in the past? Sure, he had a good outing against the Yankees where he struck out the side, but well, let's see if we can win it in the bottom of the ninth. Well, we got to get out of this one right now. Kurt Suzuki's up. He's a 304 lifetime pinch hitter. Okay. Here we go. But as of right now, back to the hot take. Aaron Judge, CJ Cron, Anthony Rizzo, they are tied for the lead in home runs. Aaron Judge, man, he's doing really good. Look out for Aaron Judge. Could this be an MVP candidate? But CJ Cron, Anthony Rizzo. So right now, Rizzo, he is off to 9 home runs over 24 games. If he played a full 162... 9 divided by 24. Anthony Rizzo is on pace for 60 home runs as of right now. And CJ Cron and Aaron Judge. All three of these guys are on pace for 60 home runs. So I don't think these guys are going to get 60 home runs. But, right now, Anthony Rizzo, especially at Yankee Stadium, I could see it, man. His bat works perfectly there. I don't see why Anthony Rizzo could not hit 40 home runs this year. CJ Cron, that guy's got power for days in Coors Field. You know what? I'm going to buy it. I think these guys end up each getting 40 home runs. Aaron Judge, on the other hand, if this guy stays healthy, Aaron Judge could always hit 40 home runs. He's already hit more than 50 in his career in a season. He had 52 in 2017. I don't see why Judge couldn't do it. He just missed 40 last year. He had 39. So I'll buy all three of these guys hitting 40 home runs. It seems like Cron and Rizzo. Cron, he's just getting better and better every year, it seems. Cron last year, he had 28 homers. But he's just on such a good pace right now where, I definitely think he could do it. If I were to buy 2 guys, I would probably lean more towards Judge and Rizzo doing it, because Rizzo at Yankee Stadium, it just makes so much sense. That bat, if he just keeps it up, I definitely think it could happen. So I'll buy this one. I'll buy it. Here we go. Moving on here to our last hot take. I believe this guy actually pitched tonight. Let's go to that game. This is our last hot take of the night. I appreciate we got a few more people that came in. Blue Jays have won. The Blue Jays pulled it out here. And but the Yankees win the series. They win the series. Joey Gallo had the home run tonight. That was all they had for the Yankees. Can Diekman... Oh, for crying out loud, get Diekman out of this freaking game. I'm so sick of this, man. I am so sick of this. I hate this bullpen by committee crap. It never works. Every time, every single year, it just doesn't work. You know, like, I just can't do it, man. Here we go. But I believe this guy did pitch tonight. And I am correct. He did pitch tonight. And he has been absolutely amazing. Here we go. Here is the hot take. From Bobby Nardone, Michael King runs away with the AL Reliever of the Year award and finishes top 10 in the AL Cy Young. Well, if we take a look at the FanGraph leaderboards, he is the leader right now among all relievers. Honestly, I think Michael King got robbed for the AL Reliever of the Month. If we go take a look here, how do I get to last month? Here we go, March and April. So Michael King, I think the award went to the wrong guy. I know Jordan Romano had 10 saves. I mean, I know, ERA and FIP for relievers, it's kind of, I get it. But, one bad outing can just, make your ERA and FIP that much higher. Diekman, please. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Thank God for the dead ball. Holy cow. That ball off the bat looked like it was gone. Wow. Okay, well, here we go. At least we're out of it. Still a tie game. Let's win it in the bottom of the ninth. But yeah, Michael King, he has been phenomenal. He has had a couple of outings here for the Yankees this year. Ice in his veins. He came in, I believe it was a bases loaded situation. I think it was no outs. And this guy came in and just locked it down. He's been phenomenal. A 0.69 FIP, right around 14 strikeouts per 9, 2 walks per 9, no home runs allowed. Michael King, man, he's been phenomenal. I think people are starting to become aware of how good this guy has been. He tops the leaderboards right now in all of Major League Baseball. So I think he got robbed of AL Reliever of the Month for April. That's just me. But I do think if he keeps up this pace, why couldn't he get the AL Reliever of the Year award? Why couldn't he? I don't see why not. Cy Young votes, I'm not quite sure about that. Who knows? Maybe he ends up getting... I don't think he'll get any first place votes. Usually relievers, they tend not to get the Cy Young votes. But he's having a really good year. He pitched well tonight for the Yankees. The Yankees did lose. But Cortez, only went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs. But King came in after him. He went 3 innings. He struck out 3. So the Yankees just had no offense tonight. Kikuchi has been pretty dreadful this year, but he had a good start tonight. So, but everyone, those are my hot takes for tonight. Those are my hot takes. I'm done. I'm going to get out of here. I got to wake up early in the morning. I got to go do some banging and clanging at the gym in the morning. So I got to get myself some beauty rest. I need all the beauty rest that I can get. Have you seen this potato face? But everyone, I want to thank you for coming out. I want to thank everyone for the super chats tonight. Thank you for the hot takes that everyone submitted. Be back next week. I'm going to keep doing the hot takes. But before we do get out of here, again, if anyone is new, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit the like button on your way out if you can. Share the stream. That way people they can go watch it later on if they missed it. And hit the bell notification on your way out as well. But I'm going to get out of here. Have yourself a good night. I will try and upload something for tomorrow. I'm currently working on it. Not quite sure if I'm going to get it done. I would like to get it done tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. But everyone, have yourself a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. And I'll talk to you next time.